I've got some 80s.
Oh! Well,
Wow.
Mr. Pete.
Mr. Lee.
It's 2020.
Is it? Is it?
It is 2020. Would you describe, I suppose in the textbook definition of the word modern, that would mean as of today. I made that last bit up. I don't know where I'm going.
Welcome to Andertons TV.
Welcome.
My name is Danish Pete.
And I am Lee, or sometimes known as Captain Lee.
Are we the only ones, the only sort of like music channel with just names that have just come like...
Are we well, you've got Andy, who was Pro Guitar Andy and is now Reverb Andy, because of course he can't just be Andy.
Yes, but it's not like he's like... Oh yeah, he is, yeah, but...
Who else has got...
No, I don't think we... I think we're the only ones with like...
There must be some. Chappers, B. Yeah, even Robert's not really... I mean, his channel has a cool name. He's got sort of Afro Robert or Robert Afro, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But that's not really what we call him, is it?
Let's just call him... But, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway,
right.
Modern, you say 2020 Modern. I mean, do you remember when we did the video on the equivalent Gibsons? Do you remember that video? Well, how much I really liked playing that red one.
Yes, the red sparkle.
Yeah.
So look,
how
we
cool
showed
that
you.
was.
I think we showed you these at the NAMM show.
We did.
In our little secret lockaway Heidi broom cupboard that we had. Yeah. Do you remember that? No, you wouldn't have done. When I was a child, there was like a Swiss kind of children's TV program about a girl that lived on the side of a hill and milked cows.
No, I remember that.
Called Heidi.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's not the one I was thinking about.
So anyway, look, everybody knows the Les Paul, and for 2020, actually, this started under the new ownership sort of back in 2018, but sort of 2019, Gibson went, okay, look, we've got to kind of define the range better. People get terribly upset if we take a product like a Les Paul Standard and we try and put modern things on it because they're like, oh, I wouldn't do that in 1959. So the range now is very much, and this is right across Gibson and Epiphone, you've either got the original series, which is where they make guitars that try to retain the essence and the magic of a bygone era, or they have the modern series.
Authentic ones.
Modern Authentic. No, I think it's just called Modern, isn't it?
Hey, Modern Authentic, that's a good one.
Is it?
Well, it could be.
And so therefore, any part of the range that they want to put modern features on, of course, goes in that range. And these are, unsurprisingly, called the Les Paul Modern from Epiphone.
Yeah.
It is, like all the Epiphone range now, just the Epiphone version of a Gibson Les Paul Modern.
Yeah.
Nice. It couldn't
be any simpler.
Anyone would think, how did it take them 60, 70 years to work this out?
Work that out.
But anyway.
I mean, okay, so spec-wise, it's so similar to the Gibson equivalent because you've got mahogany back. Oh, yours looks good. Yours got a stripy bit. Got a bit of flame in there.
It is, yeah. There's a dead tiger in there.
There's a dead Tiger King, and same neck. But you can see that even though it's a glued-in neck, I can see that this bit here is it's got a little bit extra wood put on there, scarfed in somehow. But you know, for £599,
yeah,
triple A flame maple top, Probucker 2 and 3, three-way selector switch, nickel hardware, nickelback hardware,
yeah,
split coil, and your Peter Green phase switch on here.
Ebony board, locking tuners.
Yeah, the new
the bluefin ones.
headstock.
Yeah.
Ultra modern weight relief in these, so they're light. You know, they're not
ultra modern. Perhaps we'll get something on screen now. It looks like a piece of Swiss cheese.
Yeah, they just sort of
terrible termite infestation.
Yeah, and dude, that's it for 599 quid. I mean, it is pretty damn impressive.
So if you get a solid colour version of this that's a little bit cheaper, so there are 3 of these in solid colours, which will be on your screen now.
Boom.
They're $549 at the moment, and if you go burst with the flame, they're $599.
Oh, it's good.
But other than that, it's the same guitar. It has the asymmetrical neck carve. Asymmetrical. Now, I don't know if this is legend has it, but I remember first seeing this being talked about on a Jimmy Page reproduction of Jimmy Page's Les Paul, where I believe he had his tech or a tech sort of shim the neck off so that it was a little bit fatter on the thumb side and a little bit thinner on the finger side. Hence the word asymmetrical, i.e. not the same on both sides. And if you hold your sort of hand up like that, you'll see what I mean. Like the fatter bit is this side and the thinner bit is this side of your grippage. So that's called the asymmetrical neck carve. It doesn't feel... you don't sort of pick it up and go, ooh, that's totally unique. You just kind of go, oh yes, it feels good. It's like
definitely
a nice comfy grip.
Slimmer down here, isn't it, than it is up there? You can feel it. There's definitely a different
tones,
feel to it.
Mr. Pete. You are the tone meister. Let's hear some songs pickup.
Songs pickups.
Songs pickup. Songs pedals.
Oh, sorry, that's
what I meant.
I had the camouflage on.
That's great.
Take that off.
So this is a Probucker 2, which is an Alnico 2 humbucker, so not too outrageously hot. Just
it's that
just
kind
normal.
of puff style. They're trying to get a puff style, but
Puff the magic pickup.
Puff the magic pickup. And I'm telling you, it's not that dissimilar to play to that Gibson played.
And fair play to Gibson because they've put proper strings on these guitars. They actually feel like they've got some tension to them, and they're not just like.
No,
so well done. Well done,
Gibson do that. They put tens on them. I know a lot of people want 8s and stuff, but. Split it. mean, it's not, is it?
No. It fails the slow dancing test.
It does.
But as it should.
As it should, because it's a split.
Because a Strat would fail a Paradise City test, wouldn't it?
Would it, though?
Well, what could it... these are the tests. So we've got the slow dancing test. What is our humbucker test? Should it be like an AC/DC thing? Like, so with single coil pickups, we go, can it go? And then we go, does it pass? Does it fail?
We'll have to figure that out. Why don't you comment in the comment section below? Anyway, here's the split. On split. I'll just leave it there. Middle position. And then I guess you could split either the front one or the back one. And then that's what I think this, the phase. You know, that's the blues one, isn't it?
I always feel kind of like we repeat ourselves over and over, but yes, that is the legend has it that Peter Green of just Peter Green fame, but Fleetwood Mac and the like had some work done to his pickup, and either intentionally or mistakenly, when the neck pickup was put back in the guitar, it was wired back to front to the way the bridge pickup was. So when you went to the middle position, instead of getting the sort of, that fatness of, you got this. And anyway, Peter Green liked it.
And there it was.
Recorded music with it, and it became known as the Peter Green thing.
I'm wondering if you can you could put the phase on. Can you then split it at the same time?
Probably. Yeah.
Oh.
Super thin.
That sounds like a hedge. Sounds like a.
Sounds like a hedge.
Maybe not a hedge, like a. What do you call it? Like a. What do you call it? Not a hedge. What is not a hedge? It's made out of wood.
A sliding door.
No.
A shed.
No, not a shed. A
fence.
A fence, but a metal fence that is really thin.
Oh.
When you run.
I'm glad we got there. Fantastic.
It sounds like a metal fence, ladies and gentlemen.
Running your fingers along the railings.
It does a little bit.
I don't think I've ever heard a guitar described like that.
Anyway, I think, did we get there? We did get there. A little bit of gain.
Bridge.
Oh. A little bit out of tune, but we'll manage. And then that fell off.
You know what?
I'm
just going to say, okay, so on guitars that have these push-pull features, it's not uncommon that the knob will come off, because, of course, essentially that's what you're doing. Now, guitar close-up, hopefully camera close-up. Let me see how close I can get.
I can probably get closer to you. Mine will zoom in.
It's all right. Oh, okay. But
mine will focus.
Right. So Pete's going to focus. Now, there we are. Perfect. Hold it right there.
Okay.
You can see that the top of that pot, if you like, has got like a gap down the middle of it. And all that you need to do, if you're finding that your knob falls off too easily, is very carefully get a flathead screwdriver.
Or pick.
No, you can't do it with a pick.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I don't think you can, but I do. I use a flathead screwdriver, and I pop it in there, and I just widen that gap a tiny, tiny amount. You know, I don't need to tell you, if you do it too much, you will snap you'll break the pot. So a tiny, tiny amount, and then you'll find that the plastic knob fits on nice and snugly, and it's very difficult for it to pop off again.
Yeah,
that's what I love about electric guitars. I had a friend of mine the other day who bought a guitar from Andertons, and he was like, "Oh yeah, the nuts come a bit loose on the. I'm scared. Like the nuts come a bit loose." I'm just like, "Tighten it up then."
Yeah.
And he's like, "But what? Yeah, but I haven't got the tools to do that." And I'm just like, You don't need any tools. Just use your thumb and your finger. Just tighten it up.
Tighten it up a bit.
What's going on? What's going on? And also he was saying my guitar's cutting in and out and and I'm going, okay, well it could be the connection. So anyway, we go through all this, and I said, look, worst case scenario, you might have to take the 4 of these things off, whip it out, and we'll have to look, and maybe it'll need a tighten, or worst case scenario, do you have a soldering iron? And literally at this point, he went full millennial on me. He's not even a millennial. He's actually only about 5 or 6 years younger than me. But he completely freaked out the idea of using a soldering iron. And I kind of get that, but it's what I love about guitars is there's next to nothing that can't be fixed
it's super duper
with
simple.
A screwdriver or a soldering iron. Anyway,
I'll tell you,
and after all that, it was because the batteries in his Boss Katana, what's the little one called? Katana Mini.
Yeah. Oh, Mini was run out.
He'd been playing his Katana Mini at full volume, and the batteries had run out. And what it does when the batteries get low is the sound just cuts in and out.
Yeah. Hey man, nope. I've got a trick that I do to my guitars is that I take a tiny, I take a tiny little bit of super glue, just the tiniest amount.
Where do you put this?
On here.
Right.
Just not tons of super glue, just a tiny little bit. And then I put that back on again. And I do that to my Telecaster as well, so that thing, in case you're a little bit heavy-handed with it.
Yeah.
So, not with these things, because they're screw-on, but if it's like a pull-on, like on the Strats, for instance. But that's just me.
Obviously, in the back of the guitar, we're digressing here, but this is good tips for, you can normally get to the control cavity of your guitar on a Strat or a Tele. It's not from the back, it's from the front, underneath the scratch plate. On a Les Paul, it's either here or here. But don't forget, if you ever need to actually take the pot out for some reason, you will need to be able to take the knob off the top of it. So yes, if you are going to be using super glue, which I don't recommend, but use it extremely sparingly.
But that's what I mean. It's just, I wouldn't use it on these. I don't think I've ever used it on my Les Paul. I'll just do the trick by widening the thing a little bit. But on the Strat and the Tele, these things here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people just tend to
guitars are
steal.
great. I mean, I'm not saying Fishman pickups and things like that are a bit more complicated, but your average, ye oldie fashioned Strat Les Paul Tele, it's just switches and wires. It's easy.
And honestly, if you are not in any way so inclined to do all this stuff, just bring it in. We've got super tech Gavin.
Take it to a tech. You've got quieter in my ears, but it's okay. It is, again, it's the high-tech headphone connection that we're using here.
I want to try some gain on the back pickup.
Do it.
These needs a bit more gain. That's the Dane, but still the same. The Alnico 2 is definitely...
Yeah, I'm not so sure I like it. I think I actually, I think the pickups retain more clarity when they're lower output. I think when they're high output, and particularly into a pedal, the whole thing becomes a bit of a mush, doesn't it?
I agree, but it does need a little bit... They're quite fat, aren't they?
Yeah, very.
I had to put a little tiny bit of tone in there.
I have a good friend who's a chef who always says, when you're, this will loosely apply to guitars, bear with me, but when you're cooking, he always says, put less in than you think you need, because you can always add, but you can't take away. And I think with my tenuous link to the guitar is obviously, again, if you've got a lower output pickup, you can always put a boost pedal on. But if you've got a really high aggressive sounding pickup, where are you going to go?
Well, you can put a boost on with a minus on it.
Oh yes, it doesn't really work with... just stick... It's a useful analogy for cooking, utterly useless for
that's
guitars.
what I had an A/B switch with one of them with a dial with a volume on it, so you can turn the... Anyway, whatever. So we guess colours again, Lee?
Yes.
Because I think...
that was fun in a previous video. So Pete and I have forgotten what the official names for these colours are, so we're going to guess, and then the scoreboard underneath us will mark us correctly. So this which is this sort of brownie. It looks more orange on the camera. It must be the light. But it's like a brownie.
It's like caramel, isn't it?
It is.
Caramel.
Oh, you might have got it right here. I'm going to go melted. I'm going to go volcanic chocolate. It's a great name for a band.
Volcanic chocolate.
Yeah.
That's good. I was going to go caramel, but I seem to remember something about that being like caramel, something like latte or something. But
well, there we are.
It's
and
probably...
the answer, thank you.
And this is, it looks a bit, it's actually greener in this light than it is on the camera. Slightly more, I would say ocean green, but it looks blue on the camera, doesn't it?
Yeah, that reminds me of like the colour you see in lagoons when they fly.
Ocean
over.
lagoon.
I'm going to go Laguna blue.
Laguna blue, and I'll go. What did I say? Ocean. Turtle ocean.
Turtle ocean. Ocean turtle.
Ocean turtle.
Turtle Laguna. Anyway.
Here is this one, which is a...
That's on fire!
Sunrise Magnifico.
That is... that is Phoenix Flame.
Oh, it's magma.
Magma.
It's sunset magma.
Is that the right answer?
I don't know.
You just made that up. So sunset magma. Yeah. I'm going Phoenix Rising Red.
Phoenix Rising Red.
I don't know. Anyway,
it looks...
there we are. Are we any more to say?
I don't know.
Other than these are great.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of feel like
you should play slightly. And
I'll just do some quick tones.
I like the new headstock.
Yes, all the Epiphones now have a more Gibson-y headstock. Neck pickup through my amp. Love neck pickup sounds.
Sounds nice, man.
They're obviously not hot because, again, I've been having, not issues is the wrong word with this amp, but I find it starts to break up with any kind of naughty humbucker going into it.
It does.
I don't know if it's biased a little hot or whatever, but that's kind of how I think it should sound.
Yeah.
I don't know where we're going there.
I just wanted to jam.
I've got a Peter Green test. Would this have been the classic hit that it was had he played with the neck pickup goes? Or was it only a hit because?
Well, you tell me. You tell me.
I don't even think it needs answering. It's so obvious. Anyway, so look, there we go. Les Paul Moderns. Very, very cool guitars.
Yeah.
The heel joint. We didn't really talk about the heel joint, do we? I don't think I've ever seen Pete play above the 15th fret, and I certainly don't go there. But if you do, that's the idea of up here. A little bit more room for the hand, back of the hand.
Yeah.
The locking machine heads are great.
Slap like.
Yeah. Oh, he's so funny. Yeah. I wish we could be half as funny as Davey 504.
Slap like now.
That's it.
Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe. Peace out. Slap like.
OMG.